Martí Romances, a young professional from Barcelona, imagines and designs how the future will look like on the big screen. More specifically, he creates the motion graphics for super productions such as the Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America or the Avengers. Martí is the art director of Territory Studio, a young graphic company based in London and has worked with the major film companies so far, from Marvel to 20th Century Fox. The main duty of this 28-year-old boy who started in the video games industry is creating all these screens and holograms that are a must in every science fiction film. He designs the interfaces that usually appear on spaceships or futuristic offices and help the spectator to understand the film's plot. The most credible part of the futuristic story is that encourages us to believe that the character's mission is real.
What I'm doing here every day is designing and animating, at the same time setting up styles and direction for the projects we have, mainly films and video games.
All these interfaces are a crucial part of the film, and its influence and coexistence with many other agents of the production and post-production stages has to be taken into account. That's why the relationship with the scriptwriters, directors of photography and other professionals involved in the filmmaking is vital. The studio needs to get feedback and see if they have the same idea. For every film, Martí and his team generate about 500 different screens, and it can take nearly a year to complete the whole motion graphics of a project. To imagine how this set of communications will be requires time and a lot of attempts. But where does the inspiration come from?
If we have a very futuristic film, in this case Guardians of the Galaxy, which is happening in another galaxy, we'll have to create something that looks from another galaxy. So we don't want to end up looking at references for inspiration on things that we have here on Earth. We try to think out of the box and think a little bit bigger, and then is when these weird things happen, and looking at nature patterns, looking at undersea creatures and things like this help us imagining this alien world that they want to generate.
Sometimes the style, the forecast and the look of these graphics need to be more realistic. This is the case of The Martian, a film by Ridley Scott that will be released by the end of the year and that has kept Martí busy for the last 7 months.
We've been working with NASA and we've been having lots of conferences with them because that film is meant to happen in a near future. We're not talking about galaxies, we're talking about Earth, we're talking about NASA, and we needed that to be a little bit more realistic. So inspiration for this film, yes, we can say it came more into like more real stuff.
Martí and his team not only had the chance to meet and work closely with the NASA, but their forecast interests them so much that some of the patterns and interfaces designed for The Martian can possibly inspire NASA's next expedition to Mars.
It was maybe one of the most exciting times in my career, when you know that you're going to talk with NASA and you know that you're going to be designing some stuff that they might be using in the future. That's one of the things that we really liked about that project. We were imagining how NASA graphics will be looking like in 30 years.
It may sound topic, but this is another example of how those devices and applications that we could only imagine to be on science fiction films a couple of years ago proved to be real not a long time afterwards. Reality finds not only inspiration, but sometimes guidance on the sci-fi industry.
We always talk about that example like Minority Report, when you see Tom Cruise moving the hands around and things like this. Well, nowadays all this is happening, even if it's in our iPads, all this multi-gesture is happening, and this came from that film. In a way, we inspire future technologies, and at the same time, future technologies inspire us.
Martí is aware of how lucky he is. With a multimedia degree, a lot of persistence and putting passion in everything he does, he feels he has somehow reached the top. London attracts as many talent related to film industry as Hollywood, and many majors have their studios in the city. However, this self-demanding go-getter boy looks forward to the next challenge ahead.
You never know. You just have to go with the flow, and as soon as you're too comfortable, change and go for the challenge, and put yourself in that pressure, in that challenge, and things will come up.
As far as we know, and considering how assertive he is shaping the future, things will definitely come up.